Hi guys, so as I promised, gagawa ko ng video tungkol sa entire registration process sa BIR at bibigyan ko kayo ng mga important tips or idea sa mga details na kailangan nating i-prepare bago pumunta sa BIR at saka na rin yung mga other information na kailangan natin. So just make sure to watch the video completely, and if you do have any concerns or questions, feel free to make a comment or send a message to me. I'll be glad to answer or assist you about it. So this is an image that I created for the BIR registration process as a freelancer, and it has around 8 steps. So let's get started. The first step would be, of course, to gather all important documents before going to BIR or to your RDO, because it's time consuming if you have to go back and forth just for the documents. So the very first document that you need to secure in your municipality is OTR, occupational tax receipt. So this is for non-professionals, and this can be obtained in the peso office of your municipality, and it would cost you around 200 pesos. The next one is the CTC, or the community tax certificate, and it costs you around 100 pesos also. So these two documents, you need to renew it every year. The third document is of course a valid ID. So the third or the fourth document is PSA birth certificate, followed by your marriage certificate for married individuals, and lastly would be proof of billing. This can be electricity or water bill. And BIR would usually get the photocopies of your documents, so it's best that if you can produce several photocopies ahead of time before going to your RDO. So this is an example of my OTR. I got this one from the peso office of our local government or in your municipality. So I have paid 200 pesos for it, and as long as there's indication that it's for occupational tax, then you're good to go. And it took about less than half an hour to process it. So the next document that I'll be showing is the CTC. So I also got this CTC for less than 30 minutes, and I've paid for about 50 pesos. So you can also get this one in your local government or in your municipality. And these two documents, the OTR and then the CTC, you'll have to renew it every year, because BIR would need to get your OTR upon renewal. So let's go back to the second step, which is attend a seminar for new business registrants, which will be held in your RDO. And it would only take like an hour or two to complete this seminar. And afterwards, you will get a certificate of attendance. So usually it will discuss everything you need to know about the registration process and forms that you will be using soon once you are registered. So let me show you an example of the certificate of attendance. So this is how it looks like, certificate of attendance, and it might be different in your RDO. So let's proceed with the third step. So once you have attended the seminar and you already have the documents, you have to get a priority number, and then you have to submit all the documents to the BIR officer or to the teller. But you have to inform first, when upon getting a priority number, you have to indicate that it's for a new business, of course. And then for step number 4, you have to inform the teller also that you have to register as a sole proprietor, and then the nature of your work is online, and you don't have a fixed monthly income, so that the teller or the officer would classify you to a category similar to actors and actresses, wherein they are considered non-professionals and they would need to submit OTR instead of PDR. So those people who will be using PDR, they are professionals like doctors, CP, lawyers, and then you have to emphasize to the officer that you're not paid regularly, so it's not a fixed income. And then afterwards, after your discussion with the officer, you'll be given a form 1901. So this is for the registration, and you need to fill out or produce 3 copies of it together with the documents, especially the OTR. And for step number 6, once you're done filling out the 1901 form, you'll have to go back to the teller or to the officer, and once everything is good, he or she will provide you another form, which is form 0605 for the payment. You'll be asked also to pay about 50 pesos for the document stamp, and you have to present your journal. So your journal should be stamped as well. And by the way, the form 0605 would cost around 500 pesos for the registration, and the journal would cost around 25 to 50 pesos depending on where you have purchased it. So if there are cases that if your RDO no longer accepts payment for form 0605, might be not available for a particular time, you can do it through an authorized agent, banks, or BIR. So you can ask someone, or you can ask the guard about a list of authorized banks under your RDO's jurisdiction. But usually China banks, land banks, and also BPI, Metrobank. So you just make sure to secure a list. So once the payment is done, and then you have all the documents you need, you can go back to the officer, present the documents together with the 1901 form, 0605 form, your journal, and you already have the stamp, document stamp, And after verification, and once you get a confirmation from the officer that your application is good to go, then that's it. You'll receive a claim stub containing the date as to when you can claim your certificate of registration, and if you would also like, you can get the ask for BIR receipt. So let me show you an example. So this is the COR, certificate of registration, which is form 2303 in BIR, and this is the ask for receipt. So you can place it anywhere you like, but most likely somewhere in your desk. And so this is how a journal looks like. And then so this is how I paid my form 0605 through China Bank, and this is their uh, payment slip. So it would only ask your name, of course, and type of form, and the tax type. So RF means registration fee, of course your TIN number, and then tax period. Anyway, you will be guided to the bank teller about the things you need to fill out. So just make sure to prepare 500 pesos for the registration fee. And this is how I filled out the form. But your RDO has like a launch or a PC wherein you can fill out the form, and then someone will print it out for you. So what you will only have to take note is, of course, your TIN number. So just make sure to bring your TIN ID. So this is the part 2, just the basic information, and of course the title or the position would depend based on the type of job you have. But for me, it's programmer, as I work mostly on websites. And this is how my form 1901 looks like. So the very first time that I went to the RDO, they mentioned, they have indicated that I have to secure an OTR, just a photocopy, and then I have to secure a journal, and I have to attend a seminar which will be held every Wednesday 1 p.m. in our RDO in Cebu City, and form 0605, and also document stamp. So filling out the 1901 form is very simple. You just have to follow, and if you need help, make sure to ask someone. And this is the part 2. So this is actually back portion, part 4, wherein you will see what type of tax or percentage tax you have. So I availed for 8%, so that means that I have to file 1701Q every quarter, and then 1701 for the annual ITR. I'll be creating a video on how to file 1701Q every quarter soon. So just be updated. I'll be posting pretty soon about it. So here's an example of a claim stub that they have provided to me. Just a date as to when I can get it, and they also gave me a like a reference or calling card for the printing firm, because after you have successfully registered and you have obtained your COR or certificate of registration, you will have to apply for a receipt. So you will be using a form called 1906, but you don't need to fill it out because the let's say the printing press where you will be printing your receipts, it will be the one to do it for you. So what you will need to provide to them are following. You have to provide a photocopy of your 1901 form, and you have also to provide a copy of forms or 605, photocopy of your COR. And then one thing to take note is that you'll have to make sure that you are able to apply for form 1906 or authority to print receipt within 30 days of the registration period. So let's say if you have registered successfully by June 8th, you have to make sure that you are able to apply for an authority to print receipt before July 8th. Otherwise, you'll have to get a penalty for it. I'm not sure how much, but it's best that you can avoid the penalty. Probably I'll be also creating a video on how you can print or produce a receipt for your client, because most of us are paid every week, especially you are with Upwork, so they paid every week. So roughly you'll have to produce OR 4 ORs every month. So that's it. That's the entire registration process. And as of today, I'm still waiting for my uh, receipts to be printed, and I think they're almost done. So sooner I should be able to create another video on how you can uh, do a computation, how you can file 1701Q, how you can make entries to your journal, and how you can also write receipts for every payment you have received from your clients. So if you have any questions, or if there's something that I can help, feel free to make a comment. I will be glad to answer as much as possible, or as much as I can. And if you find this video or tutorial helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. So your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you.